Okay, I'm doing a power supply check and a charger check for a customer by the name of Glenn, order 1941. Uh, I'm just going to go down the list. He ordered an Icharger 406 Duo and a 24 volt power supply. They were out of stock of 406 Duos, so me and him split the difference and upgraded him to a 4010. So the power supply that he ordered was a 24 volt power supply, had 6-inch leads, EC5 connector for the Icharger. It has two sets of 4mm bullets. It's carbon fiber wrap. There's no voltage boost. There's no protective varnish. He's using my stock white 150C fiberglass wiring. He wanted the handles and release tab. No, he wanted the release tab removed. The handles are still there. He wanted a soldered link. He wanted a 12 volt tap. He wanted them stacked. No AC splitter cable, 6-month warranty. So everything looks good on that power supply. So I'll move this out the way and get the charger. Get the Icharger. It's a 4010 Duo, brand new in box. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox that and take all the stuff out. There's the CD, there's the charger, got the balance boards here. So I need the balance board, so I'm gonna grab the balance cables here. I got the balance cables, chargers here. Put this in the box and set it to the side. New charger. Do a sniff test. Smells new. Date on it is 4/4/16. It is 4/9/16. So everything looks good on that front. Few light scuffs on the screen, but like I said, there's a protective film on the screen and around the buttons. But everything looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this up to the power supply. Power supply is not plugged in, but I'm gonna just make sure the plugs are correct. Alright, so they look good to me. Plugs in good, red to red, black to black, so there should be no polarity issues. Just scoot this back a little bit. Alright, plug in the balance cables here. I'm slowly refining these videos to try to just get straight to the point here. Alright. So verify on the charger, the balance ports, that it's showing good balance. Verify that it can charge and discharge without any problems or overheating or anything like that. I was doing full testing, like testing everything, but it was just taking way too long, and I got, a backlog stacking up. So, all right, so I got the ports, got the balance ports plugged in. Now I'm gonna get the batteries over here and get the balance cables plugged in. Alright. Alright, get this plugged in. The charge leads for the pack. Alright, so everything's plugged into the charger. All the cables and everything haven't plugged the packs in yet. Turn the power supply on. Power supply is on. 2.17 is the firmware. Voltage is 24.666. Alright, so let's plug in these battery packs here. These should be discharged from my last test. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in. Red to red, black to black. Have this other pack here. Red to red, black to black. Alright, 10.7 on each port here. Plug in the balance tap. 3.57, 3.58, 3.55. Plug in the balance tap over here. And this is a dual port 40 amp charger. So I'm going to go ahead and charge both of these packs up at 40 amps. 40 amps. Go ahead and start that guy up. And then start this one up over here. Charge 40 amps. So just because you can't see everything, there's 2 packs on the desk over there. But seem to be ramping up. 17 on 1, 22. So we're at 39, 40 amps on the left channel, 38, 39, 40 amps on the right channel. So it seems to be charging fine with the ports individual. So I'm gonna let this finish up and I'll come back in a second. Okay, so it's about to finish up the charge cycle on these batteries. Did it without a hitch. The power supply didn't even kick the fan on yet, and it was pulling about 45 amps from the power supply. No funny noises, no alarms or anything like that. So I consider this charge cycle to be good. So I'm gonna let this finish up, and then I'll start back up with me doing the discharge cycle. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so the charger completed its charge cycle on both channels. I'm going to do a discharge on both channels. Setting it to about 15 amps. It's not going to do 15 amps, but just set it high so I don't have to change it later. Come over here, do the same thing. Discharge just automatically changes the setting from the other channel. It transports them over here. So running the discharge test now. Should do a little over 10 amps on both channels. Well, actually, it'll even out, actually. So we'll see what they even out to. Alright, so it looks like about 8 amps on each side. So this should take about, I would say about 45 minutes. About 30 to 40, about 45 minutes to complete this. The fan's just ramped up on the charger. So we're going to let this run out. And once I get done with this, I'm going to charge it. I'm going to change the configuration and put it in synchronous mode with both channels working together. And charge the packs back up, and then do a parallel discharge, and that would be it. Be back in about 45. Okay, we completed the discharge test on both channels. Both of the packs discharged fine. The charger didn't get hot or throw any warnings, or there's like a little temperature thing that normally flashes red when the charger gets too high. It didn't do any of that. So it discharged the packs fine. And like these packs that I'm using for testing have been performing like really, really great. They're rated at 5200, and they gave like 5143 at 3.5 volts to sell. If it were to go down just a little bit more, it'll give full capacity. So these packs have been performing like right on the nose. Like I said, I started both of these at the same time, and it's been consistent with the capacity. But anyway, I'm gonna reconfigure all of this and get it set up to um, charge these batteries in parallel mode on the charger. So give me a second to reconfigure this, and I'll get that parallel charge started. And then we're gonna, since this is a 70 amp charger, we're gonna see what the charger can do. See if we can push 70 amps into these two batteries, and that will kind of test the it'll test the batteries, test the charger. Should put a little bit of a hurting on the power supply. So let me do that, and I'll get back to you in a few minutes. All right, everything is set up, at least connector wise. We got 3 cells over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the recipe um, to do synchronous mode. All right, so I changed the setting for synchronous mode. I'm gonna go ahead and start this up. So we're gonna do charge. I gotta change the setting to increase the amperage. 70 amps. Go ahead and hit start. Alright, so this charge cycle has started. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the screen. So we're doing 70 amps, and it's pulling 37 amps from the power supply. Like I said, these are 3S batteries, so it's not necessarily maxing out the charger, but what we're really concerned about is running the chargers, running the two sides of the charger in parallel and seeing, making sure that it can hit 70 amps, which is the total capacity current of the charger. It should charge this up in like 10 or 15 minutes, like tops. It's like 10 amp hour capacity. So it should get done with this really quickly. You see it's just going, but I'm gonna let this play out. As soon as we get done, we're gonna do a parallel discharge, and then that will complete the charger testing. It's 10:34, so it looks like I might be able to beat the mailman. I might not, but I'm gonna try my best to get this charger out today. You've been waiting a while, and I don't want you waiting anymore. So give me, we're gonna let this charge. So be back in about 15 minutes. Okay, we just finished up the parallel charge cycle, handled it like a champ. Just zooming in on the screen. Alright, so that was actually, it did that in 12 minutes. So it charged a 3S pack at 70 amps. And it was a 10 amp hour pack in 12 minutes. Pretty damn good. So let's go ahead and start the parallel discharge. So just cranking this up a little bit to about 20 amps. Because I believe it does a higher discharge in parallel mode. So, well, at least the 4010 Duo has a higher discharge capability than the other charger. So it should be able to do at least 15 plus amps. Yep. So like I said, this is a 10 amp hour pack, and it's discharging at 16, so it's going to be about 45 minutes for it to discharge this pack. And once it gets done discharging this pack, I'll see the charger's good, break everything down, and I'll start boxing and shipping your order. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, breaking everything down, disconnecting everything.